Scene 1. It is early dawn in Scotland. We are upon a heath, a cold, dry wasteland. Enter three witches from opposite ends. They dance in the middle.
Where's the place?
Upon that heath.
There to meet with
Fair is foul,
And foul is fair,
hover through the fog,
and
filthy.
air.
Scene 2. An army camp. Enter King of Scotland, King Duncan, along with his son Malcolm, two Scottish lords named Lennox and Ross, Banquo's son awaiting news about his father, and Macbeth, one of the warriors. They all look out for news to arrive against the battles against the traitor, the Thane of Cawdor, who joined forces with the King of Norway. Enter a bloody messenger.
What bloody man is that? He can report.
Hail, my brave friend. Say to my honorable father, the king, the knowledge of the boy.
Brave Macbeth, well, he deserves that name. Disbanding fortune with his brandished steel, carved out his passage so he faced the traitor Thane of Cawdor and his rebels, till he unseamed him from the knob to the chops, and fixed his head upon our battlements.
O valiant cousin!
O worthy gentleman.
And my father Banquo with him?
Yes, together they were as cannons overcharged with double cracks, so they doubly redoubled strokes upon the foe.
Oh, Macbeth.
And Banquo.
Look there in Norway with terrible numbers, assisted by that most disloyal traitor, the Thane of Cawdor, begins such a dismal conflict against your highness.
But were it not for the valiant Macbeth, to conclude, the victory fell on us.
God save the king.
And great happiness, no more that Thane of Cawdor shall deceive our bosom. Go pronounce his death, and with his former title greet Macbeth.
I'll see it done.
What he hath lost, noble Macbeth hath won.
Scene 3. In another part of the battleground, the witches appear.
a drum, Macbeth, thou've come.
The weird sisters, hand in hand,
Posters of the sea and land.
Thus to go about,
thrice to thine,
And thrice to mine.
and thrice again.
to make up 9.
Peace.
The charm's bound up.
Enter Macbeth and Banquo, wearily walking back. The witches watch from the side.
So foul and fair a day I have not seen.
Macbeth!
Ah! What are these so withered and so wild in their attire, that look not like the inhabitants of the earth and yet are on it?
Speak, if you can, what are you?
Oh, hail Macbeth! Hail to thee, Dan of Glumps!
All hail Macbeth, hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor.
All hail Macbeth, thou shalt be king hereafter.
And to you, Ben, greater than Macbeth, yet less.
Not so happy, yet much happier.
Thou shalt get kings, though thou be none. So all hail Macbeth and Banquo.
Stay, you imperfect speakers, tell me more. I know I think of Glamis, but how of Cawdor? Speak, I charge you.
Whither are they vanished?
Into the air where they have stayed.
Were such things here real, or have we eaten on the insane root that takes the reason prisoner?
They said your children shall be kings.
You shall be king.
And Thane of Cawdor first went it not so.
The self-same tune in words, yes.
Enter the bloody messenger, catching up with them with thanks from the king.
Who's there?
The king hath happily received, Macbeth, the news of thy success. I am sent to give thee from our royal master thanks, and for an earnest of a greater honor he bade me. From him call thee Thane of Cawdor. For that great title, it is now thine.
What, can the devil speak true?
Why do you dress me in borrowed robes?
You have overthrown him. His title is thine.
Macbeth thinks to himself.
Glamis and the Thane of Cawdor. The greatest behind. The supernatural soul thing cannot be ill, cannot be good.
He turns back to the messenger.
Thanks for your pains.
We can Macbeth, let us toward the king.
Very gladly. Come, lead us on.
Scene 4. The king's camp. King Duncan sits surrounded by his son Malcolm, Lords Lennox and Ross, Banquo's son Fleance, and the brave Macduff. Macbeth and Banquo enter, escorted by the messenger.
Oh, my worthiest Macbeth, welcome hither. More is thy due than all can pay.
The service and loyalty I owe in doing it pays itself. Your Highness, part is to receive our duties, and our duties are to your throne.
I have begun to plant thee, Macbeth, and labor to make thee full of growing. And to you, noble Banquo, who is no less deserved and shall be known no less, let me enfold thee and hold thee to my heart too.
There, if I grow, the harvest is your own.
The king embraces Macbeth and Banquo. Banquo's son also runs forward to embrace his father.
Father!
Son!
And now, I announce that we will establish our estate upon our eldest, Malcolm, who we name hereafter the Prince of Cumberland.
Macbeth turns away from everyone.
Malcolm, the Prince of Cumberland and next king. That is a step on which I must fall down on, or else overleap, for in many ways it lies. The weird sisters will have me king.
Macbeth turns back to the king.
From hence to Inverness, Macbeth's castle, and bind us further to you.
This will make joyful the hearing of my wife with your approach, so humbly take my leave.
It is a banquet to me, my worthy colleague.
Scene 5, Macbeth's castle. Enter Lady Macbeth, reading a letter from Macbeth, confiding in her what 3 strange witches he told him on his way back from battle.
Glamis, thou art, and Cawdor now too, and shalt be what us are promised? King! Yet do I fear thy nature is too full of milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou wouldst be great, hie thee hither, that I may pour my spirits in thine ear, that which fate and metaphysically doth seem to have thee crowned withal. The raven himself is hoarse, that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here and fill me from the crown to the toe, top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood, come to my woman's breast and take my milk for gall. Come, thick night, and pell the indunnest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of the dark. To cry, hold, hold!
Enter Macbeth. They have not seen each other for many months. They embrace and look at each other lovingly.
Great Glamis, worthy Cawdor, greater than both hereafter. Thy letters have transported me beyond the ignorant present, and I feel now the future in the instant.
My dearest love! Duncan, come here tonight.
And when goes hence?
Tomorrow, as he proposes.
Oh, never shall the sun that morrow see. Your face, my Thane, is as a book where men may read strange matters. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. We shall put this night's great business into my dispatch.
We will speak further.
Only look up clear. Leave all the rest to me.
Scene 6, at the entrance of Macbeth's castle. King Duncan, Malcolm, Banquo, his son Flans, Lennox, Ross, and Macduff arrive for their brief stay. They look around at how auspicious Macbeth's castle seems to be.
This castle has a pleasant seat.
And so many birds outside the castle I saw.
Suppose it smells wooingly here. Where the summer bird breeds, I have observed, should be a good place.
Yes, the air is delicate.
My lord, welcome.
See our honored hostess. Where's the Thane of Cawdor? Fair and noble hostess, we are your guests tonight.
Your servants ever.
Give me your hand. Conduct me to mine host. We love him highly.
Scene 7, in another part of Macbeth's castle. Macbeth paces, thinking out loud. It is after dinner and most of the guests have gone to bed.
If it were done when 'tis done, then 'twere well done quickly. But this blow might be the be-all in the end all. I have no spur to put the sides of my head, but only vaulting ambition, which overleaps itself and falls on the other.
Lady Macbeth enters hurriedly.
How now? What news?
Why have you left the chamber? Art thou afeard?
Busy peace, I dare do that may become a man.
What beast was it then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man.
If we should fail?
We fail, but screw your courage to the sticking place and will not fail. When Duncan is asleep, his 2 chamberlains will I, with wine, make drunk and fall asleep.
Will it not be received when we have marked with blood those sleepy two of his own chamber, and used their very own daggers, that they have done it.
Who dares receive it, as we shall make our griefs and clamor roar upon his death?
I'm settled, and bend up each corporal agent to its terrible feet.
Scene 8, outside of the castle. Banquo and his son Flant walk and talk after the big dinner.
How does the night, boy?
The moon is down. I have not heard the clock.
Oh, heavy summons lies like lit upon me, and yet I would not sleep.
Enter Macbeth in the dark.
Who's there?
Friend.
What, sir? Not yet at rest? The king's abed, all's well. But I dreamt last night of the three weird sisters. To you they have showed some truth.
I think not of them. Get thee to bed.
Very well, dear friend. Good night, then.
Good night, my lord.
Good night, young one. It's just a dagger which I see before me, the handle toward my hand. Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not, fatal vision, sensible to feeling as a sight, or art thou but a dagger of the mind, a false creation proceeding from heat-oppressed brain. I go, and it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for a knell that summons thee to heaven or to hell.
In another part of the castle, we see Duncan enter his guest bedroom to sleep. He closes his door. A murder is committed. Scene 9, the Macbeth bedroom. Enter Lady Macbeth.
That which had made them drunk hath made me bold. Hark! Peace!
Who's there? What ho?
My husband.
I've done indeed. This is now not hear a noise.
Did not you speak?
When?
Now.
As it ascended?
I.
Methought I heard a voice cry, sleep no more. Macbeth does murder sleep. Sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more.
You do unbend your noble strength to think so brain-sickly of things. Go get some water and wash this filthy witness from your hand. Why did you bring these daggers from the place? They must lie there. Go carry them and smear the sleepy grooms with blood.
I'll go no more. I'm afraid to think of what I've done. Look on it again, I dare not.
Give me the daggers.
She exits to go plant the murder weapons. A knocking is heard at the castle door.
Whence is that knocking? How is it with me when every noise appalls me? What hands are here? Ha! Will all great Neptune's ocean wash this blood clean from my hand?
Re-enter Lady Macbeth without the weapons.
My hands are of your color, but I shame to wear a heart so white. I hear a knocking. Retire we to our bed.
Scene 10, in the front entranceway of the castle. Enter the porter to answer the door.
Here's a knocking indeed. I'm like the porter of Hellgate. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there in the name of Beelzebub? Here's a farmer that hanged himself on the expectation of plenty. Come in time. Knock, knock. Who's there in the other devil's name? Faith, here's an equivocator who committed treason, enough for God's sake, but could not equivocate to heaven. Oh, come in, equivocator. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? Knock, knock. Never at quiet. What are you? But this place is too cold for hell. A nun! A nun!
He opens the door.
I pray you remember the porter.
Macduff, Lennox, and Ross enter, looking to awaken the king.
So late, Sirrah. Is the house quietly stirring?
Faith, sir. We were carousing till the second cock.
Is thy master stirring?
Enter Macbeth in his nightgown, pretending to have just awoken.
Our knocking has awakened him. Here he comes.
Good morrow, noble sir.
Good morrow, Lord Ross, Lennox, Macduff.
The king stirring, worthy Thane?
We have some business to report.
I'll make so bold to call, for 'tis my service.
The night has been unruly. Where we lay our chimneys were blown down.
And, as they say, lamentings heard in the air, strange screams of death.
To us was a rough night.
Oh, horror, horror, horror! Most sacrilegious murder hath stole the life of the building.
What is it you say?
Alive?
Mean you his majesty?
Approach the chamber and destroy your sight. See, see!
What's the business that such a hideous trumpet calls the parley, the sleepers of the house? Speak, speak!
Oh, gentle lady, 'tis not for you to hear what I can speak. Oh, Banquo, Banquo, a royal master's murdered.
What? Whoa, alas, in our house? No.
Too cruel anywhere, dear Macduff. I prithee, contradict thyself and say it is not so.
What is amiss?
Your royal father's murdered.
Oh, by whom?
Those of his chamber have seen has done it.
Their hands and faces were all badged with blood, so were their daggers, which unwiped we found upon their pillows.
Help me, hence. Oh.
Servant, she's been startled, servant.
Yes, my lord. Oh, woe is me, my lady.
Look to the lady.
Yes, my lord.
Let's briefly put on our manly readiness and meet in the great dining hall together.
Well contented.
Everyone exits to the inner dining hall except for Malcolm, who looks around worried and considers the reality that his father has just been murdered.
What should be spoken here? I must away. I will not consort with them. Out to England. There I shall keep the safer.
Scene 11. It has been many days since the murder of the king. Enter old Seward from England and Lord Ross, speaking about the strange situation in Scotland.
I have seen hours dreadful and things strange, but the night of King Duncan's death, it was unnatural.
Aye, and that night, Duncan's horses, a thing most strange and certain, turned wild in nature, broke their stalls, flung out. Oh, dreadful thoughts. But look, here comes the good Macduff. How goes the world, sir, now?
Is it know who did this more than bloody deed?
Guards of his chamber, those that Macbeth hath slain.
Alas, the day. Where is the king's son?
It seems so Malcolm, the king's son, has stolen away and fled, which puts upon him suspicion of the deed.
His most like the sovereignty will now fall upon Macbeth.
He is already named and gone to Scone to be invested.
Will you to Scone then to see the coronation?
No, cousin, not I. I'll to Fife, to my wife and babes.
I will not either. Back to England I. 'Tis too unnatural here.
I will go to make good show.
God's bed son go with you.
Scene 12. Macbeth is crowned with Lady Macbeth.
Thou hast it now. King, Cawdor, Glamis, all, as the weird woman promised. And I fear thou played most foully for it.
Here's our chief guest. Fail not our celebration feast.
My lord, I will not.
I do, but return at night. Go as Fleance your son with you.
Aye, my good lord, always.
Ah, then I wish your horses swift and sure of foot. Farewell. Our fears on Banquo stake deep. Those witches hailed him farther to a line of kings. Upon my head they placed a fruitless crown and put a barren scepter in my grip. No son of mine succeeding. If it be so, for his son, the gracious Duncan, have I murdered, to make him king, the seat of Banquo king.
Enter a suspicious man for hire.
Was it not yesterday we spoke together?
It was so, please your highness. I am one, my liege, that I am reckless what I do to spite the world.
Do you know Banquo?
Aye, my lord.
He is mine enemy, and though I could, with barefaced power, sweep him from my sight, yet I must not, but you must for me.
I shall, my lord, perform what you command.
I will advise you where to plant yourself. Fleance, his son, that keeps him company, must embrace the fate of that dark hour as well.
I'm resolved, my lord.
It is concluded. Banquo, thy soul's flight, if it have find heaven, must find out tonight.
Scene 13. Outside in the field at night. Enter the murderer.
Hark, I hear horses.
He hides behind some bushes. Enter Banquo and Fleance, his young son.
'Tis he.
It will be rain tonight.
Let it come down then.
Oh, treachery! Fly, good Fleance! Fly, fly, fly! Thou mayst revenge! Ah!
Father!
Fly, Fleance, fly! I die.
The sun has fled. I've lost best half of my affair. Well, Alloway, and say how much is done.
Scene 14. In the dining hall of the palace. A banquet is prepared. Enter Macbeth, Lady Macbeth with Lords Ross and Lennox.
Sit down, dear friends. At first and last, the hearty welcome.
Thanks to your majesty.
I play the humble host.
To all our friends, for my heart speaks, they are welcome.
The murderer appears at the door.
There's blood on thy face.
This Banquo's then.
Is he dispatched?
My lord, his throat is cut, that I did for him.
Thou art the best of the cutthroats.
Most royal, sir. Fleance escaped.
Get thee gone. Tomorrow we'll meet again.
My royal lord, you do not give the cheer.
The ghost of Banquo enters and sits in Macbeth's place.
Macbeth!
Sweet remembrancer.
May it please sit, your highness.
Is it your highness to grace us with your royal company?
But the table's full.
Here is the place reserved, sir.
Where?
Here, my good lord. What is it that moves you, your highness?
Which one of you have done this?
What, my good lord?
Thou cannot say I did it.
His highness is not well.
My lord is often thus, and hath been from his youth. Pray you, keep seat. The fit is momentary.
She pulls Macbeth aside.
Are you a man?
Aye, and a bold one. There dare look on that which might appall the devil.
This is the very painting of your fear.
Prithee, see there!
Macbeth!
Behold, look lo, how say you? I saw him.
Fie, for shame, my worthy lord. Your noble friends do lack you.
I do forget. Do not muse at me, my worthy friends. Give me some wine. I drink the general joy of the whole table. And to our dear friend Banquo, whom we miss, would he were here.
Our duties and our pledge.
Macbeth! Avaunt, and quit my sight! Let the earth hide thee. Thy bones are marrowless. Thy blood is cold. Hence, horrible, hence! Hence! Why so, being gone, I'm a man again.
You have displaced the mirth, broke the good meeting.
Can such sights be?
What sights, my lord?
I pray you, speak not. He grows worse and worse. At once. Good night. Go at once.
Good night, and better attend his majesty.
A kind good night to all.
It will have blood, they say. Blood will have blood. Stones have been known to move and trees to speak. How sayest thou that Macduff denies his presence at our great bidding? I will to the weird sisters, or shall they speak?
Scene 15. A cavern. Enter the three witches.
Double,
Toil and trouble.
Fire burn.
and cauldron.
Bubble.
Fill a fenny snake in the cauldron, boil and bake.
By the pricking of my thumb, something wicked this way comes.
How now, you secret black and midnight hags? What is it that you do?
A deed.
Without
a name.
I conjure you, by that which you profess, answer me.
Speak.
Demand.
Will answer.
Macbeth, Macbeth, Macbeth! Beware, Macduff! Beware, thy thane of Fife!
But one word more.
He will not be commanded. Here's another.
Macbeth, Macbeth, Macbeth! Be bloody bold and resolute, for none of woman born shall harm Macbeth.
Then live, Macduff. What need I fear of thee? But yet I'll make assurance double sure.
Macbeth shall never be vanquished, be until great Burnham Wood to high Dunsinane Hill shall come against him.
That will never be in my heart throbs.
Seek to know no more.
I will be satisfied. Answer me more.
The apparitions have disappeared. The witches dance around him in a frenzy and then vanish.
Where are they?
A soldier runs in. He has been looking to catch up with Macbeth.
Sir, we've looked everywhere for you. We've got an urgent message. Macduff has fled to England.
Fled to England?
Aye, my lord.
Well, go then, prepare our battlements. The castle Macduff I will surprise. I will get to the edge of the sword. His wife, his baby, and all unfortunate souls that trace him in his line. No boasting like a fool. This deed I'll do before this purpose cool.
Scene 16, at Fife, Macduff's castle. Enter Lady Macduff, her child, and Lord Ross.
What had he done to make Macduff like to England?
You must have patience, madam.
He had none. His flight was madness.
You know not whether it was his wisdom or his fear that made him flee.
Wisdom, to leave his wife, to leave his babe and his mansion and his titles in a place from whence himself does fly. He love us not.
My dearest lady, I pray you, school yourself. But for your husband, he is noble, wise, judicious, and best knows the fits of the season. I dare not speak much further.
Father she is, and yet she's fatherless.
I must not stay longer. I must take my leave at once.
Your father's dead. And what would you do now? How would you go on?
My father is not dead for all you're saying. But Mama, what is a traitor?
Why? One that swears and lies.
Enter a figure draped in black with sinister looks. It is Macbeth's hired murderer.
Bless you, fair dame. Some danger is approaching nearby.
I have done no harm.
Where's your husband?
I hope in no place such as they might find him.
He's a traitor.
Thus lie, the shaggy-haired villain.
What? You egg, young fry of treachery?
He has killed me, mother. Run away, I pray you.
Murder, help hope, murder.
No one can save you now, gentle lady.
Oh, where is my lord and love Macduff?
Not even he.
Scene 17, England. Enter Malcolm, the Prince of Scotland, and brave Macduff with him now.
I am not treacherous.
But Macbeth is, and that rawness left your wife and child to join me. You may be just rightly just.
No legions of hard hell can come a devil more damned than evils to top Macbeth.
O Scotland, Scotland, if such a one be fit to govern, speak, I am as I have spoken.
Fit to govern? No, not to live, O nation miserable.
Devilish Macbeth, since my father's death, my thoughts have been so clouded.
Enter Ross.
Sir!
Good to see you, old lord. Stand Scotland where it did.
Alas, poor country! Almost afraid to know itself, it cannot be called our mother but our grave!
How does my wife? And all my children?
Let not your ears despise my tongue forever, which shall possess them with the heaviest sound that ever yet they've heard. Your castle is surprised, your wife and babe savagely slaughtered.
And my children too?
Wife, children, servants, all that could be found.
My wife killed too? No!
Be comforted. Let's make us medicines of our great revenge to cure this deadly grief.
He has no children.
Dispute it like a man.
I shall do so, but also must feel it as a man. They were all struck for me. Heaven, rest them now.
Be this the whetstone of your sword. Let grief convert to anger. Blunt not the heart. Enrage it.
Bring thou this fiend of Scotland and myself. Within my sword's length set him.
Scene 18, at Dunsinane, Macbeth's castle. Enter a doctor.
Lo you, here she comes. Observe her, stand close.
Lady Macbeth enters in a trance.
Look how she rubs her hands to seem like washing them.
Out, damned spot, out, I say. What need we fear? Who knows it? But none can call her power to account. Who would have thought the old man to have so much blood in him?
You marked that?
The Thane of Fife had a wife. Where is she now? What, will these hands never be clean? Here's the smell of blood still. Oh. Wash your hands. Banquo's buried. He cannot come out of his grave. To bed. What's done cannot be undone. To bed.
Lady Macbeth exits frantically. Scene 19, the countryside near Dunsinane. Lennox is with Seward and some soldiers.
The English power is near, led up by Malcolm and the good Macduff. Revenge is burning them for their dear causes.
Near Burnham Wood shall we meet them, that way they are coming.
What does the tyrant? Have you any news of his stance?
Great Dunsinane, his castle he strongly fortifies. Some say he's mad, others lesser hate him. Do call it valiant fury.
Now does he feel his sacred murder sticking on his hands? Now does he feel his title hang loose about him like a giant's robe upon the dwarvish thief?
Well, march we on to give obedience where it's truly own. Make our way towards Burnham.
Scene 20, Dunsinane, a room in Macbeth's castle.
Bring me no more reports.
This is true, my lord. The English force is coming. So please you with many soldiers, sir.
Till Burnham Wood moves to Dunsinane, I cannot faint with tear. That is what they said.
Who said, my lord?
That shall never be. Burnham Wood comes to Dunsinane. Impossible, you hear?
No, sir. Burnham Wood cannot move to Dunsinane.
And the spirits have pronounced. They said too, fear not, no man that's born of woman. Then fly, false thanes, and mingle with the English. I fear thee not.
My lord, there's 10,000 soldiers, sir.
I'll fight till from my bones my flesh be hacked. Give me my armor. Go. Send on more horses, skirt the country road, hang those that talk of fear.
Aye, my lord.
As the soldier exits in fear of Macbeth's rants, the doctor enters.
How does my wife? Throw physic to the dogs. I'll none of it. Out!
The doctor, fearful of Macbeth's outburst, scurries away and mumbles to herself.
Were I from Dunsinane away and clear, prophet again, should hardly draw me here.
Scene 21, Burnham Wood. Malcolm's army from England has come together. Enter Malcolm, Seward, Macduff, Lennox, Ross, and their troops marching.
You have all well arrived to join us. Cousins, I hope the days aren't near at hand when Scotland will be safe.
What wood is this before us?
The wood of Burnham.
Let every soldier take a bow and bear it before him. Thereby shall we shadow our numbers.
It shall be done.
All the troops and generals take branches from the woods and hold them in front of them as their camouflage. They march on. Scene 22, Dunsinane, within the castle. Enter Macbeth and his soldier.
Hang on our banners on the outward walls. What is that noise?
The queen, my lord, is dead.
She should have died hereafter. There would have been a time for such a word. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day to the last syllable of recorded time. Out, out, brief candle, life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
And there is more. As I did stand my watch upon the hill, I looked toward Burnham, and anon, methought I saw the wood began to move.
Liar and a slave! They said, fear not, till Burnham Wood does come to Dunsinane, and now a wood comes towards Dunsinane. Arm, and fight. Blow wind, come rack. At least we'll die with harnesses on our back. Why should I play the Roman fool and die on mine own sword?
Scene 23, the two armies meet on the battlefield in Dunsinane. Enter Malcolm, Seward, Macduff, Lennox, and Ross, leading their army, holding the boughs of Burnham Wood.
Now we are near enough. Your heavy blows, throw down.
Tonight, let us be beating if we cannot fight.
Make all our trumpets speak. Give them all breath. Rah!
Macbeth enters to the soldiers. A horn is blown and combat ensues.
I must fight the course. Was he that was not born of woman? Such a one that I am to fear only.
On another part of the field, Macduff looks to face Macbeth one-on-one.
Show thy face. Thou will be slain for my wife and children's ghost. Let me find him.
This way, my lord.
There, beside us.
Fight!
Turn, hellhound, turn.
Get thee back!
I have no words. My voice is in my sword. Ah!
Let fall thy blade on Volmo crest. I bear a charmed life, which must not yield to anyone of woman born.
Well, let angels tell thee, Macduff was from his mother's womb untimely ripped.
What?
Then yield thee, coward, to the rightful King Malcolm.
I will not yield. To kiss the ground before young Malcolm's feet. Though born in wood to come into this name, and though opposed by one of woman born, I will try the last. Lay on, Macduff.
They continue to fight. We hear of slaughter. Macbeth is slain. Macduff comes forward with the head of Macbeth. He goes towards Prince Malcolm and kneels.
Hail, rightful King Malcolm, for so thou art. Behold, where stands the usurper's cursed head. The time is free. Hail, King of Scotland.
All go down on one knee as Malcolm takes the crown and puts it upon his head. Everyone is kneeling to Malcolm.
Hail, King of Scotland.
Hail.
Hail.
Long live King Malcolm.
My thanes and kinsmen, thanks to all and once to each. Let's call home our exiled friends. Let's cleanse what this dead butcher and his fiend-like queen have produced. So all we invite you to see us rightfully clowned. Oh, Scotland, Scotland lives.
A faint sound is heard.
Fair is foul, and foul is fair.
Hover through the fog
And filthy
air.
The end.